Hello, students, and welcome to the Pomerantz Career Center's webinar on getting you started with Handshake. My name is Josh Fromm, the Associate Director of Student Employment Programs here at the Pomerantz Career Center. So if you ever have any questions specifically regarding student employment and Handshake, I will be your go-to person. You can reach me at any time at josh-from, F-R-A-H-M, at uiowa.edu, and I'm happy to answer any questions for you. Today, I want to give you a brief overview of the Handshake system from start to finish as you just gain access to the system. Each of you should be able to log into Handshake from the Pomerantz Career Center website with your Hawk ID and password. So once you get started, hopefully you can see my screen right now. Once you get started, there's a few things that you have to fill out. So I wanted to take you through some of these things and just give you some tips on what you can do to maximize your effectiveness on the system. So first case scenario is just simply asking you what you're looking for. So once you log in, this is what it's going to take you through, a number of questions just to get you started. So if you're looking for an on-campus job, if you're also looking for an internship, you can select as much or as little as you want with regards to that. Next, it'll take you through cities. So if you're looking just in the Iowa City area to start, I think that's where you want to get going there. It also allows you to click on industries and things like that as well. And on any of these, you'll be able to notice you can select as many or as few as you're looking for. All right. So basically, the better you fill this out, the more that the algorithms in the Handshake system are going to be able to help focus on getting you exactly what you're looking for with regards to jobs and advertising those jobs to you. So any field you can click. If you're not sure, you can add additional fields as well in there. So just for the sake of trial, we're just going to list a couple random ones here. 5 qualities you're looking for. So some of these things are matched with the employer's profile that they select and they talk about. So again, the better you fill this stuff out, the more the Handshake system is going to be able to work for you. All right. So if you're looking for a startup, you can do that. Let's say you're looking for a large company, well-known, company support. So here's from the diversity angle. So you can select all of those. So there's a number of things that you can go through. If you don't want to do that, you absolutely don't have to. You can kind of skip through each and every one of these things. What I would tell you from a GPA standpoint, you can make it visible to employers. You absolutely don't have to. If it's over a 3.0, I definitely recommend that you do that. Some internships will have a GPA limit, but again, you do not have to complete that portion. So for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and skip these. We went through a few. Again, you can select as many or as few as you want. So as you get started, basically this is going to be the home page for you. So my name is Career, as in this example. So it's going to welcome you. It's going to start providing some resources here on the home page. It works very, very much like any social media um, avenue that you are on. So it starts, the more it gets to know you, the more it starts suggesting events and jobs and things like that that you might be interested in. So the first thing I do want to draw your attention to that's the most important is creating your profile. So you can either view your profile this way, otherwise your name will be up here in the corner, and you can click on profile here. So what I do want to tell you is if you have a resume, it's going to really save you some time as far as not having to manually input some of this information. So if you look, you can talk about your journey, you can add your education and work experience. So instead of doing that manually, if you do have a resume, which we'd highly recommend that you create one as you're job searching, as many employers are going to ask for that, even for part-time on-campus jobs. To build your profile faster, you can actually upload your resume. So to just show you an example, I'm going to go ahead and upload my own resume in this case. So if I wanted my updated resume, all right, so I'm going to upload it. It's going to help me build my profile faster. So as it goes through, you can approve all, but it's going to kind of auto-fill this stuff in for you. And you absolutely can edit this if you want. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and approve all for now. As you can see, it does leave some things undone. So your profile is at 35%. One thing that means is there's some things that I can still fill out. For example, if I filled out my journey, this is basically, what are you passionate about? What are you looking for in your career? What types of jobs are you looking for? So, this could be anything. A short paragraph or two is plenty. This is kind of your summary, or if you've heard of elevator pitches before, you can almost use this as your written out elevator pitch. So just something intriguing about you and things that you bring to the table for employers. So I want to have you devote your attention to the left side here. You can absolutely add a photo, and I recommend you do that. So you add a profile, a photo, you add to my journey. That's going to increase your profile complete score. All right. So right now, it's auto-selected that my profile is visible to employers, students, and alumni. If I want to change that, so you can see my account information here. If I want to change that so employers can see my information and it's public, and if you're job searching, I would recommend doing that. But if you want to keep it more private, you can keep it within the Handshake system. But if I'm full go job searching, I might click employers here. This means that employers will be able to see my profile and kind of target me specifically based on what's in my profile. So if you select this, you could get some marketing emails and messages about potential job opportunities. So it's really up to you if you want to have that as part of the process here on Handshake. So again, like any other social media site, you're going to have the ability to kind of maneuver things to make use of it how you'd like. Okay. So interest, the more things that you want to put in here, the better. So you can edit it at any time. You can edit what we filled out at the very beginning. The more you fill in, again, the more the system is going to help work for you. You can discover students in your network. You can start connecting excuse me, with students at the University of Iowa and beyond. Here's some things from a skill standpoint that you can add. So as an employer, I could go in here and search and say, hey, I'm looking for students who have conflict management skills, right? So if I wanted to add a specific skill, I can absolutely do that. And I can continue to add these as I go along. Based on your profile, it's going to autofill this for you. Okay, so the better your resume, and again, we will always help you at the Pomerantz Career Center. If you need help with your resume, you can stop in. We have open office hours from 10 to 3 every day where our peer advisors will look at your resume, cover letter, and then also you can sign up for a career advisor appointment online as well, if that's something you're looking for. The next thing is you want to be able to add your documents. So when we get to the job searching part here in a few minutes, one thing you're going to have to do is apply for jobs based on the documents that employer is looking for. So if you don't have any documents, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to apply for a job on the system. You can manage your documents either here, or if you go up again to your name, there's a document section here. So if I click on that, because I already uploaded my resume, it's automatically going to be in here. You can have more than one resume if you'd like, if you are changing your resume based on the job you're applying for. One thing to keep in mind, if you are looking for student jobs on campus, they might ask for something like your class schedule to figure out how they can make the hours work for you. Oftentimes you will upload your schedule or availability for that semester and be able to upload it and just assign it to another document, right? So you can add new document at any point. So let's say I'm adding that schedule. I can name it whatever I want. All right, it's going to pull up what you have on your computer, and you can add it just like you're uploading anything else. So whatever you have in here is what you are able to apply to. Okay, so as you start to fill out in your profile, you're going to start to see more things on your homepage right when you log in here that are going to start talking about specific jobs within your interest areas. Okay, as you can see here, so Chicago was a city we talked about. And we posted jobs that we're interested in with regards to human resources, advertising, PR, marketing, that is going to be available, and it's going to start showing you jobs in the locations and in the fields that you're looking for. So pretty cool how that can work, and it can help do a lot of that work for you. All right, so excuse me, once you upload the documents, if you look up here on the top, you have the ability to check out a number of different things. So let's go to events here real quick. So it's going to talk to you about events on campus that are sponsored here by the University of Iowa. So as you scroll through here, I absolutely recommend you take a look at this each semester. So every semester, our college puts on tons of different events that can help you specifically connect with an employer. There could be career fields, networking events, all kinds of things that you might be interested in. So let's say, for instance, you are interested in going to the job fair this upcoming spring. So the job and internship fair, you can see that. If you look here, there's already students registered and employers registered. You can view that event and register ahead of time. It can save you some time when you go to that event. It also allows you the opportunity to look for the specific employers and see who is there. So on the left side, it just gives you a ton of ways to kind of filter that out. So if I'm looking for job fair participants who are looking for interns, you're going to see that. Full-time, different school years, majors that they're looking for. So no matter what your career field, there's a lot of stuff that you can filter down to make sure that the system's working directly for you and you're getting notifications of things that are specifically of interest to you. So a lot of these events too, just going back to the events page, some of these events, even our career fair specifically, that the Pomerantz Center will head up, we have an app for that. So there's an app for everything, right, these days. So you have an app available that'll show you the locations of some of these employers. So when you get there that day, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So to try to find different things, there's a lot of people there and a lot of running around. So one thing that app can do is help you find the location of where those tables are, so you're not going from floor to floor in IMU. So that's something just to keep in mind as you get ready for the fair. But highly recommend the events section and just seeing what's out there and seeing what can help you from a networking and a job searching standpoint. So the holy grail of searching for jobs. So if you click on jobs, you're going to see all the jobs that we have on our Handshake system. So I want to point you to this number, 11,564 jobs. That is a ton of jobs. Those are employers who are advertising here to University of Iowa students, okay? You can see right here, based on the interest I posted when we got started, there's 594 job matches. So really interesting how the system can work for you. Now, the jobs are posted along the left-hand side, and if I clicked on one, it's going to preview it here to the right. Obviously, you are not going to look for through 11,000 jobs. That might take you an entire week if you're going straight through it. So, so I want to teach you about here real quick is how you can do a good job of narrowing that down and filtering things out. So if I'm looking for an internship, for instance, now it's down to 3,415. If I'm looking for a part-time internship, we're down to 963. Now, there's other ways you can filter as well. So what I want to highlight, and there's a number of ways that you can go through this, I like to highlight the job function. So there's about 40 job functions in here. You can click as many as you want. So if you're somebody interested in community and social services, all right, so there's 212 jobs found there. All right, if I'm interested in administration, it goes up to 332. So a little bit easier to scroll through that. If I'm only looking, if I want to click a city, if I'm looking in the Iowa City area, okay, Iowa City, Iowa pops up, we're down to 30 jobs. So let's say, okay, I'm interested in community and social services part-time internship. Okay, within the Iowa City area, there are 30 jobs. You can always see how it breaks down here. So if I click see jobs, that's down to 30. It's going to be much easier for you to scroll through here and take a look. And as you'll see with the number of these, there are mock interviews as well. So if companies within this area want to provide mock interview opportunities, that's a great way to get terrific feedback. So if I like this search, for instance, you'll get a don't miss out signal here. I can actually save this exact search. So you'll see down here, it says created a job alert. So if I edit those notifications, I can label it. It labels it for you, but you can title it anything you want, and you can do more than one of these titles. So let's say I want an email weekly. Okay, if I save this, I'm going to get an email every single week from Handshake. Okay, that's going to tell me if any new jobs have been posted in the area that I have filtered out. So if 2 new jobs, and we're posting 200, 250 jobs that are new every single day on this site. If you have that search function set up for yourself, the system's going to do the work for you. Highly recommend utilizing these searches. Okay. So if I get 2 new jobs, it's going to post, it's going to link directly to those jobs in that email, and it'll save you a lot of the time as far as going through searches consistently as you're job searching. So letting the system work for you is really, really crucial. One thing I think that's a huge benefit of this site is if you're starting as a freshman, or if you're incoming as a junior, if you're senior, there's jobs for every single part of your career here at Iowa. So you might start looking for on-campus jobs. You might, sophomore or junior year, get up to the internship area. Then you might look for a full-time job starting your senior year. So there's a lot of things that you can do throughout your time here that's going to continually give you options. So we not only work with campus employers, but employers not just in the Iowa City area either, but nationwide. So you're going to see jobs from all over, but the key is being able to use those filters really well. So if you're struggling to find what you're looking for with the general filters, you can use these text boxes. Just know with the text boxes in particular that if you say the word community service, you might get 2,000 jobs pull up, because anything with the words community service in it are going to pop up. So just like a Google page, if you're Googling something, you might get more results than you're looking for. So just that's something to keep in mind when you decide how you want to search. But there are plenty of ways that you can do that. So it's kind of a mix and match. What we found is that it's what works best for different industries might be a little bit different. So if you're struggling to find something in your area, try a different type of search, and that can definitely help you. So let's say, for instance, there's a public relations internship. This is something that I'm looking at. You see when the applications close, if I'm looking there. The one thing I would keep in mind though, since it closes in a long time, that sometimes they can keep it up the whole year. That doesn't mean that it's going to be up that whole time. So at any point, this employer could take this posting down. So my recommendation for you is if you have a job you're interested in, apply for it as quickly as possible. So it's going to give you job description, it's going to give you qualifications, there's some things about the location of the job, the duration, hours per week. So the employer has leeway as far as what they want to provide specifically with regards to that information. You'll see a check mark, basically major GPA school year. What I posted within my profile, it matches what they're looking for. Now, even if you have something it would be grayed out or to not have a check mark on it, it does not mean that you can apply. What I recommend though is just make sure that you are fully qualified based on the qualifications section. Okay, so the actual applying is super easy. Okay, so if I wanted to apply for this position, I'd hit that apply button, and then it will tell me how I go about applying. So you'll see that they want a resume. If I drop down, this is what's in your document section up here, okay? Now there's a cover letter. I don't have a cover letter, so I will have to create one for this position in particular, okay? So some will require, especially internships and full-time jobs, those are more likely to require cover letters than part-time positions might. So just keep in mind, we have resources as well on the Career Center website to help you get started with your cover letter if you've never written one before. Okay. So the application is fairly simple. So if I want an internship, okay, I want it in the Iowa City area. There's 164 in this area. So if I'm just scrolling through, okay, and I just want to spend about a half hour on it, maybe this is a job I'm interested in. You'll see these stars right here. If I start this job, okay, maybe I don't have time. I'm just kind of going through and making sure that I look at this when I have more time. Maybe you're doing it between classes. I can always go back to my favorite jobs and it's going to start listing them. Okay, so every time you do that, um, that's something that you're able to do. This one you'll see, if you don't see apply, it says it's a good example for you. It says apply externally. Okay, requires a resume. Okay, step 2, so I'm going to click my resume. I'm going to answer these questions. Okay. And then step 2 is the external application. That means they have something outside of the Handshake system that they need you to fill out. So don't be surprised if you see that on occasion as well. All right, so favorite your employers, all that stuff it can be helpful. When you start applying for jobs, the cool thing is it tracks them for you. So I haven't submitted any applications yet, but once I have, it's going to start popping up here. So that way I can track when I apply for the position, what the position is, what the organization is. So it allows you to figure out, okay, what am I doing? Okay, when was the last time I applied? So sometimes in our center, what we'll get is, okay, I haven't heard back from this employer. So at that point, if I'm helping you, I'm going to go in here and see, okay, when did you apply? So some employers, they might be gathering applicants. Some are looking for people right away. Some maybe a semester down the road if it's an internship. So just keep that in mind. My philosophy is always, if you don't hear anything in 10 to 14 business days, I go ahead and follow up. Okay, so if I'm looking at my application, so right now it's January 9th. If I submit an application on December 28th, this might be time where I might reach out to that organization, reiterate my interest in that position, see if there's anything else I need to do for the application process, okay? So it's always good. Now you don't want to follow up the next day and say what's happening, right? You want to give them some time, but at the same time, I think it's important that that you are following up with those employers. And again, if you want coaching on how to do that, absolutely come to the Career Center and we can help you out. Okay, so hopefully those tips with regards to how to use the filters, how to look at the jobs, how to apply will help you once you get in there for the first time. Okay. And you can always click on the handshake icon to go back to the beginning. So you can see the job that I favorited is right there front and center to say, hey, apply, apply, apply. Okay. So I can, again, you can unclick the star and unfavorite at any point too. So if you ever need help, okay, so there are tons of options as far as help goes. So if I click on help, okay, it's going to have basic questions that you can get help with. Okay, so you have the ability to utilize that. From a Career Center, we have resources out there. A lot of the stuff is also on our Career Center page, but take a look and kind of click through here and see how everything goes. Okay, so if I go back to the very beginning, um, I might get notifications and things like that too. So over time, when you start using this, you might get notifications from employers about your application or about a job search result or something like that. Those are going to pop up. You're going to see a red number. So if I had 4 notifications, it's going to list the 4 in red up here. Again, very much like any other social media site. Okay. So hopefully throughout the 15 minutes or so we've spent today, you've had the opportunity to see a little bit about Handshake, how to get started, how to utilize it to the best of your abilities. And again, with the job search, we're always willing to help. So if you have questions, you can communicate with the Career Center directly. Our number is 319-335-1023. And again, you can always reach out to me, Josh Fromm, at josh-fromm@uiowa.edu. and I'd be more than happy to help you with any of your job search needs. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you for listening today, and we hope that this gives you a better idea of how to get started with Handshake. And welcome to the university.